Good morning, everybody. This is Dee with Illinois WorkNet, and on the call with me today I have Olivia, and we have only a few people on the call, which is a little disconcerting because we're still going to go over numbers even though the random assignment is done. So if you do have any questions about anything, please put those in the chat pod for us. And welcome, Brooke, and welcome, Annie. They're the only ones that have said hi. I know IES is going live next week, so it's probably a struggle for everybody to get onto this webinar. So we'll keep it really short and sweet, and we'll hope that we can be done as quickly as possible. So let's get rolling. We will go over numbers here real quick. And you guys definitely cannot see that page that way. So here we have a numbers that I pulled this morning. No-show for CBO intake. We have 34 in the list, and we can see here that we've got 5 from Cal Park, 5 from Humboldt Park, 5 from Mid-South, 1 from Northern, 4 from Northwest, 2 from Southeast. I believe that number is 6 from West Suburban, 1 from Western, and 2 from Rockford. East St. Louis, you have 3. So we have some numbers there that some of you guys need to take care of. Find out why those people were a no-show for their CBO intake orientation. There's none under the referral pending, not scheduled. So we have, that's good for that. We do have more than this number on the referral rejected, but some of them are exempt. So Humboldt Park, you have 7 on your list of people that we need some sort of action taken for that referral rejected. And I know a couple of weeks ago I put a case note in that's asking what the status is. So I'm going to look to see if there's any. I'm going to go back and recheck those later on this afternoon. Northern, you've got 3, and 1 for Northwest. We have 5 for West Suburban. If you guys need any help with this, 1 for East St. Louis, 1 for Marion. If you need any help with these referrals rejected, please give Olivia or myself a call. So that we can help you take care of those if it's something in the system, if you've got an idea of where the person's going but you just can't quite figure out how to get it done in the system, then we can help you through that. We have 1 customer from Western who's deemed no longer appropriate for services. We have 2 in Quincy, and I understand there's going to be 1 for Freeport. People had a problem logging in this morning. Olivia, maybe we need to send off a message or an email to Adobe Connect after the webinar. So okay. If you had problems logging in, please put a note into the chat pod so that we can know exactly how many people had a problem. Okay, under recommend sanction, there are 10 people for Cal Park, 7 for Humboldt Park, 1 Mid-South, 1 Northwest, 8 West Suburban, 3 from Western, 1 from Rockford, 1 from Quincy, and 6 from East St. Louis. So if you guys can work on taking care of those, please make sure that you add a case note to let us know how long the sanction is going to be so that the CBOs don't provide services for those customers during the sanction period. We did have a discussion with the CBOs on our last webinar to not let customers come in during a sanction period that they're supposed to refer them back to the DHS office, especially if there's an issue with that sanction time. Not all of the CBOs know that a DHS customer may have missed a redetermination appointment or didn't have their paperwork handed in appropriately. So as long as we can put in those time frames onto a case note, that would be absolutely wonderful. All right, I am done with the enrolled dashboard numbers. We'll add those into the minutes from today's meeting. And Olivia, would you like to talk about rescheduling customers for re-engagement? I know we're working on directions for this.
Yes. So now that we've reached our 5,000 mark, we are now going back and working on re-engaging customers who are no longer participating. And DHS has went over the processes that you guys are utilizing for that re-engagement. And one of the things we wanted to bring to everybody's attention was the need for rescheduling customers when they're being re-engaged with the CBO. We've put together an instruction guide, which can be found. I'll put the URL in the chat pod. We have it uploaded to the EPIC partner webpage in the full list of resources here. And then you can also find it in the file pod below. It's the very last document that has been uploaded, the Rescheduling Customers for Re-engagement. Now, there are 3 different ways in which a customer could possibly need rescheduled, depending on where they were at when they stopped participation in EPIC. So the first option is customers who were never engaged by a CBO. So these are the customers that you guys randomly assigned, set up an appointment date with the CBO, and then the customer never showed or made any contact. So for these customers, it's pretty simple. We just go into their assessments tab and remove that original appointment, and then it will populate a list of all the current appointments that CBO has, and you'll just select from that list, and that will schedule them and update all of their documentation. So you can re-download that referral form and give that to the customer, and then they can go to their new appointment with the CBO whenever it is time. The second process for rescheduling customers looks at customers who may have been engaged by a CBO for a period of time before dropping off. The way the system works is once the CBOs have been engaged and have a 2151A uploaded, it does not allow the appointment to be removed. This is something we are going to change, and so probably next Friday or the next Friday we have our webinar. There will be an easier process for this. We're going to allow you to add multiple appointments, so you don't have to worry about removing appointments, or if you don't have the ability to remove, contacting us and seeing all that information. But for now, until we get that update pushed out, if you cannot remove a customer's appointment and they need a new appointment to be re-engaged with the CBO, you can send epic@illinoisworknet.com an email with the customer's other participant ID number, along with all we need is the customer's other participant ID number, and we will email you back with a list of possible dates the customer can select from, and then you just let us know which one they want, and we will manually set that into the system, and they'll be rescheduled, and you can download all that new documentation. The final way is if the customer needs rescheduled and realigned. So maybe they were engaged with the CBO for a period of time or not at all and decided that they wanted to go to a different training program or wanted a closer location or something like that. And so we also need to move them to a new CBO and set a new appointment for them. In that situation, what you would do is the same as any other time you would realign a CBO. You'll just send epic@illinoisworknet.com an email, or you can email DRI and we will get that CBO information updated. All we need to know is the customer's other participant ID number. We need to know which CBO they would like to move to and the training program they would like to participate in. We'll email you back with appointment dates that you can select from. And then once we know when they would like to go, we will get them all scheduled, and you can re-download all the forms as well. So that's currently the instructions that are on the partner page right now are the current instructions that we need to make sure we're following. All customers need to have a new appointment date entered in when they're being re-engaged. One of the things we want the system to do is restart the customer over in the dashboard. So we need a new date to trigger new re-engagement. Do you guys have any questions on rescheduling customers?
New appointments will show up in the case notes like they originally did with the original appointment dates.
Yeah, we will. The case notes will contain all that information, so we'll never lose the actual original appointment date. And with the updates, what we're going to do is we're going to just stack them on top of each other. We're not going to be removing them later down the road. We're just going to allow to add an additional appointment. That way we can all see in one quick glance how many times a customer has been scheduled to be engaged with the CBO and what has happened because of that. Do we have any other questions?
I don't see anybody typing.
All righty. So the next item on the agenda is very brief. I sent an email out to all of our CEOs and DHS staff that have Epic access. Now that we are re-engaging all of our customers, we just wanted to make sure everybody knew that we are not going to be re-engaging exempt customers. An email was sent out that we had gotten from DHS with the language on us not engaging those, and then included the policy as why we are not going to be engaging those customers. I just wanted to make sure everybody was really clear and aware of that. We've discussed it with our CBOs, and we're going to continue to let them know that they should not be reaching out and trying to get exempt customers back into the program.
And the DHS admin team will be watching currently exempt customers for anyone who becomes non-exempt. I don't know what that term would be. If they come off of the exempt list, then the DHS admin team will be watching so that we can get those customers re-engaged. All right. I don't have any other items. I do see Deidre typing. Okay. So, Olivia, do you have anything?
I do not.
All right. Well, best wishes for IES. Oh, remember that with the new IES, if you need to know who is an Epic customer, you can always find that through your Epic dashboard. I don't know how frequently you get into it, but I was thinking about I might want to print a list of all of the customers that were assigned out of my office, just so I'd have a paper copy of it. But that's up to you guys what you want to do with that. All right. I see Deidre typing. Excellent. Prior proper planning. In 8th grade, I learned this alliteration. I'm going to share it with you now. Prior proper planning prevents poor performance at peak panic periods. Thank you, Mr. McPhail, my 8th grade math teacher. All right, everybody, have a great day. We'll talk to you on November 3rd.